140 of the All the Books show, where we talk about book news, author news, and literary news, recording at the David A. Howe Public Library. I'm Eric Mickles.
And I'm Nick Gunning.
Yeah.
Are you going to pep up, or do we need to go old school and get you a Coca-Cola?
That's Eric with a C.
I like it. You know what?
What?
I have seen more people misspell your name, E-R-I-K, than I've seen anybody's name misspelled.
Yeah.
And my name is Nicholas and doesn't have an H in it.
I always thought C was the common spelling.
I thought it was, too.
People love putting the K in there.
It's really bizarre. I guess because Mickles has a K.
Yeah.
It just seems like it happens all the time.
Yeah. I
So-
do feel like I get called E-R-I-K more
Yeah.
than people actually misspell
I
Mickles.
think, I think so.
So,
I think
It's rough.
so. Mickles, like the pickles.
no.
Oh, that would be a misspelling.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no C in Mickles.
Well, April is Poetry Month, folks, so we're going to dive into a little poetry discussion later on. Now, as Eric has made very clear to listeners, he's not a poetry fan, so we're going to be talking about some poetry collections for people who think they don't like poetry or people who just straight up don't like poetry.
And I don't.
We've scoured the internet for some examples here, so we're going to dig into that a little bit later.
Internet poetry.
That's right. Before we start the body of the episode, I think that you've left a cliffhanger out there. I've been wondering. I think our listeners have been wondering.
Right.
Several weeks ago on air, you received a text from your wife asking if you'd figured out why the dog leash was in the bathtub.
Right.
And you were going to update us on what the situation was. And
I didn't
I don't
share this?
No.
Are you really?
Yeah.
She thought there was dog poop on it,
Oh, okay.
and so she put it in the tub. There wasn't.
There was no dog poop.
No.
Wow.
It was fine.
That was very anticlimactic.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry,
glad that I brought that story back.
Yeah.
But now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know.
It was people poop.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah.
What a crazy twist.
Yeah.
So wait, she thought there was dog poop on it, so she just tossed it in the tub for you?
Maybe. Or maybe it was
Wow.
washed. I can't remember.
Wow.
It's been so long
Okay.
ago.
All right.
This is like if like George Lucas ended Empire Strikes Back,
Yeah.
waited like 30 years to come back to it without ever rewatching it,
Yeah.
and just filmed from recollection. He's
Yeah.
like, how did I leave Empire
Yeah.
Strikes Back?
Pretty much.
Vader's his uncle?
Exact same. Exactly
Yeah.
the same. All right. Well, enough
I
talking
guess that's how I
about
made the prequels.
dog poop. Fair enough. Speaking of dog poop, the
Oh,
prequels.
snap!
Oh.
Everything connects to everything else.
You're right.
We're all multitudes or something.
Let's move on to our bookmark segment. Now, I've had a busy couple of days.
All right, go ahead.
Here, so let me tell you some of the things that I finished. I finished Dirt, which is Stone Barrington #2 by Stuart Woods.
This is the prequel to Joe Dirt?
No.
This is the gritty reboot of Joe Dirt.
Yeah, that's
Dirt.
exactly right. Dirt with a Y, so you know.
Ugh,
you
yeah.
know. As I mentioned last week, this was a little on the smutty side.
Oh?
There's always a touch of smut. This one was like
The smuttiest.
everywhere any woman who came into contact with Stone Barrington was young, gorgeous, and just desperate to go to bed with him. Desperate.
Great work if you can get it.
I guess.
I don't know what
So,
these books are about.
It was that one was about young women desperately wanting to go to bed with Stone Barrington, and something about a tabloid. But
Okay.
I've read some of the in the teens. That's
So it
kind
was
of
like
where
a-
I started.
It was like a character focus.
Yeah, and they were a lot better. So I think
Mm-hmm.
these early books are a little. Not that the series is ever great.
Right.
It's just one of those things, like an NYPD Red.
Why did you point at me when you said that? I didn't write those.
Which I also read over the weekend. I read Red Alert, which is book 5 of NYPD Red.
Right.
They opted to go for a bold new direction in their titling.
Yeah.
Originally, this was announced as NYPD Red 5,
Why wouldn't you call it NYPD Red Alert?
now called Red Alert.
I guess that's too long.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, that too was fine and started with a little smut, but that wasn't the main focus.
Oh, okay.
There was a smutty prologue.
Right. Where do I get the smuttier
that was
NYPD Red?
later.
You can just point me in the
Yeah,
direction.
that's NYPD Dark Red. So
Oh. Maroon?
this was filed right next to 50 Shades of Grey, I think.
Okay.
This was okay. It was fine. You know,
Yeah.
I've liked some of the ones in the series better than this one, and I've liked
Mm-hmm.
some worse. So this was just it was a wash, is what it
Right.
was. I read Higher Loyalty by James Comey. And was underwhelmed. The first chunk was pretty interesting. It was just sort of about like a career in politics and law enforcement. And I got into the stuff with like the election and the Clinton emails and all that is Donald Trump. But it just, I don't know. I found it ultimately
Exhausting?
Yeah, it was just ultimately unsatisfying because he never really was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that, or you know, when everybody has said like you shouldn't have done that, he didn't have any sort of like maybe it was a mistake. He just
Right.
was kind of like, I did the right thing, what I thought was right, and never wavered from that. So it just wasn't
satisfying.
No, it wasn't satisfying at all.
Okay.
And it also
Welcome to the human condition.
I know. And this is a book that he wrote.
Right.
So you'd think that like part of that was to make him come off as like likable, but I actually found him like less impressive reading the book than from just the vague
He didn't come here to
information
make
that I
friends,
had
man.
before. No, he
came
didn't.
here to win.
He is 6'8", which I don't know if that's common knowledge, but he's 6'8",
All right.
which is very tall.
The Hulk is 9 feet tall.
yeah,
the
you're
Incredible
right.
Hulk.
You're right.
So what's the big
How
deal?
tall is Ferrigno?
Ferrigno?
Yeah.
He's got to be at least 6'8".
Yeah, at
He's
least.
huge.
At least. Maybe he should
I'm
have
gonna
been
look
the
this up
FBI
right now.
director. Okay. So I honestly don't know that I would recommend this book. You're not really going to get any new insights into it, and I don't think you're going to get a satisfying so that explains it. So, it's quick. If you're really interested, we'll have it. I'm sure it's going to be on the bestseller list, but this was less entertaining than Red Alert, if that helps.
Okay.
And then
Lou Ferrigno's 6'4".
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
They should have got Comey to play the Incredible Hulk. I mean, he's free now, so
Yeah.
why
I think.
not? It's
Well, they
probably-
got Mark Ruffalo now.
Oh, that's true. And he's what, 5'3"?
Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
5'3",
Yeah, I think I'm
5'4".
taller than him.
5'4" in cowboy
I think.
boots.
Yeah.
And then I read The Time Traveler, which is a poetry collection by none other than Joyce Carol Oates.
Time travel?
It's not really about time travel. No,
Why'd you start with time
it's
travel?
called Time Traveler.
Okay.
I read this. I always try to pick a collection up for April, which is National Poetry Month, as we've mentioned. I've read some of her other poem collections, and I liked those better. So again, this was fine. I've got nothing for you here because all of these were just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you had a very mediocre week.
I know. I really did. But now I'm reading The Female Persuasion by Meg Wolitzer, which has been on every best of
Oh, my word.
anticipated books for the year. And I've heard that they're already talking about adapting it into a movie with Nicole Kidman. So I don't know. But I'm liking the book so far.
Okay.
And anything else? Oh, well, I'm doing The Midnight House by Alex Berenson.
Nice.
That's our book club book.
Right.
I've been doing audio, so I'm slowly making my way through that. And it's fine.
Oh, man. All right, I've got a trilogy. We're going to write a trilogy about your life. It's
Yeah.
kind of like you dealing with middle age.
Oh,
We're
okay.
going to call it Nick's Mediocre Week.
Yeah.
Second book is Nick's Mediocre Summer. Last book, Nick's Mediocre Life.
I knew you were going to say that, and it still hurt. It's still
well,
stung.
no, not your life is mediocre. I'm just saying,
Okay.
that's the thing. But by the third book, you've come to terms. Not you. Obviously, this is a different Nick based off of most of your traits and thoughts.
Okay.
But he'll just be like, this isn't mediocre. This is life.
Oh, I see. So he'll learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In page to screen adaptation news, I watched the pilot for Krypton,
Yeah.
loosely based on the Superman comics, and this is, after all, Superman's 80th anniversary.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that, check out the
And he was
display.
30 when he was introduced. So, I mean, we're looking
Yeah.
at 100 and...
Yeah, he looks great for his age.
Yeah.
I hear the trunks are back in issue 1000 of Action
Yeah.
Comics.
I don't think they're permanent, though.
Oh, temporary trunks.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was okay. It was. I
like the trunks.
I like the trunks too.
Otherwise,
yeah, I
it's
think-
just blue.
Yeah, the costume looks better.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Needs some
Otherwise, he's
highlights.
like in a wetsuit. Have you watched Krypton yet?
No, I
So
keep
this is
meaning
on
to. There's
Sci-Fi Channel.
yeah.
This is like Superman's
I have to watch it.
grandfather.
Yeah.
But
Nothing
there's
more.
a time travel element that
Yes.
makes it a little bit more
Somebody from the modern day
in
is on
line with
Krypton.
what you want to know.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, and I think that element kind of
Brainiac showing up.
Yeah. There's some early players that you hope are going to stick around that
Adam Strange.
spoiler alert, don't stick around. I'm not going to tell
no.
you who, but that was kind of
yeah.
a hit. It was like, oh, but I like those characters, you know? So we'll probably keep going. We'll probably keep going on it.
You just said wheel,
Yeah.
but you said it a few times. It sounded like whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's what I said.
okay.
Yeah, it's my new trying out
Yeah,
catchphrases.
I have to watch it online because it's not on Hulu
Right.
or anything.
Yeah, I downloaded the Sci-Fi app.
So,
Watched
to
it.
watch something on my computer, I have to turn my futon around so it's
slow
facing
down,
the
slow
computer.
down.
Then I have to decide, is the monitor going to stay on the desk or do I bring it down
Yeah,
to
is it
the
worth
coffee
it?
table?
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's the coffee
Why
table.
don't you just watch it on your iPad?
Okay. I'll just,
sorry,
I'll just
Grandpa.
watch TV on the smallest
Okay.
screen possible.
Alrighty.
No.
In other book-related news relating to your bookmark,
Oh?
we did post a Twitter poll to see if Eric should or should not finish Abaddon's Gate, which is book 3 in the Expanse series, which he is not enjoying.
Right.
And it was a pretty decisive victory for nah, bro.
Yeah.
Let's put it back.
Yeah.
So
well, that's good
67 to 33.
The poll could have
67% said put it down.
The poll could have also said, should Eric start Abaddon's Gate at this point? Because, again, this whole week I was like, I'll pick up. No, forget it.
Bit of a failure to launch
it's
situation.
Just the idea of having to get there and meet new quirky characters who say funny things.
So are you checking out of the series?
I might be, yeah. I think I'm out book-wise.
Okay.
Because I just like the first book, and I want to remember enjoying the first book.
Okay.
And I don't want to start disliking the whole series. Mm-hmm. So, and the TV show is supposed to be good.
Okay.
And I can watch that with my wife.
Stick with the old TV show. All right. That sounds good. Well, what else have you been reading?
Well, geez. I've read some comics.
Okay.
On my Marvel Unlimited app.
Nice.
Hey, it turns out I am being paid by Marvel to
really
shill out the Marvel Unlimited app.
Good, because you're doing it.
Yeah. No, they didn't pay me. Did I get to talk about Booked?
I don't think so.
No, because I read it for the book club. So I finished Booked. Booked was an actual book. Kids were very lukewarm on it. This is Kwame Alexander.
Okay.
This is the spiritual sequel to Crossover.
Okay.
The Crossover. So this is about, it's a soccer-based book, but soccer does not really play a role in here. And the poetry is very, like, it seems like he had to write this in a poet form.
Okay.
Because the first book was in verse.
Right.
So it doesn't have the same, like, life to it. Like, Crossover used a lot of the structure, like they were sent, the pages and the text were, warped.
Okay.
And it felt like there was movement and there was a lot of bold. In Booked, there's there's at the beginning a little, but there's no soccer. There's very little.
And you were hoping for soccer.
Well, I guess I thought for the kids because they wanted to read it because they liked how the basketball was represented in the first book. But yeah, none of this. The kid goes through his parents are going through divorce, so it's really about him just having to deal with that. But he's a very passive character. Nothing really happens. The ending is very unsatisfying because there seems like there's a lot of plot threads.
Okay.
Unresolved. The kids were not fans, but the 7th graders were a big fan of The War That Saved My Life.
Oh yeah, I've heard only good. One of my in the adult book club, they saw the group was doing that, and she picked it up and loved it.
Yeah, it's very good.
So,
yeah. It's fun talking to 7th graders about a book that deals with abusive parents and the effects of that.
Fun, you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we did.
All right.
We did nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
So then I read some comics. I read some Punisher comics by Greg Rucka. No good. I mean, they were fine. They
He's
just
hit
weren't.
and miss, I find.
Greg Rucka?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just didn't really have like a MO,
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really have anything to say about the Punisher or any story to really tell. They introduced a new character who used to be a Marine and her family was killed on her wedding day.
Yikes.
So now she's a Punisher. But no. And I also kept reading Jason Aaron's Wolverine series.
Okay.
Remember how I told you I spoiled the Wolverine comics about how he ended up?
Well, we all remember.
All that darkness is just like left away after that. And it just becomes this like goofy kind of cartoony Wolverine deals with the Chinatown mob. Wolverine goes to Japan and deals with the mob there. And it's just kind of
a lot of mob-related humor.
A lot of mob. But like suddenly he's like fighting dragons and he's goofing about. People like, where's that Wolverine? And then it's him.
You're kind of selling it.
It's him and Sabretooth fighting a lot. And I mean, I like a good Wolverine Sabretooth fight, but at a certain while you realize they're never going to kill each other. They can't.
True.
So
Truth.
Unless there's something at stake other than the fact that they're just fighting, I don't like. They can stop each other, but they can't kill each other.
Yeah,
anyway,
okay.
I also read a Venom miniseries. Oh yeah, people remember I read Venom: Lethal Protector.
Yeah,
but then all the Venom comics become like 3-issue miniseries. I was like, I can't put these on Goodreads. I can.
You found a way.
They actually have collected all the miniseries together in different volumes. So I finished Venom: The Enemy Within.
Can I tell you that I never doubted you?
Thanks, man. These Venom comics, real bad.
Okay.
They're dated and not in a good way.
Yeah.
And there's some really dumb stories in here. So
So are you done with Venom for a while?
No, I'm going to keep reading the Venom comics.
Okay,
I'm just telling you that.
Tell the folks some of the ones we have in our own collection right here.
We have the new Venom series by Rick Remender?
Like a current ongoing series?
Yeah. Yeah, we
Okay.
have his new current ongoing series. We have Spider-Man Birth of Venom, which is his origin. And we have we have Spider-Man Maximum Carnage, which has Venom and Carnage.
Oh.
And I think we had another... No, those might be the big ones
Okay.
that we have. Oh, we have some stuff like Spider-Man American Son and New Ways to Die.
Do we have any of the ones
character.
where Venom's like a good guy?
I think he's kind of an anti-hero in his new ongoing.
I see.
So I don't think it's a villain comic.
And your take on the new Venom trailer that's just dropped?
Pretty bad, man. Looks
Okay.
very 90s, maybe late 2000s. I might say this is a Venom movie that would have been made alongside Daredevil and Elektra.
Oh, that's high praise.
Especially somebody said it looks like a Catwoman reboot because it's like Venom completely apart from Spider-Man.
Right.
Corporate thing. He discovers it, but now they're using the stuff on him, but now he's gained powers to fight them. Venom has a voice I do not recognize. Sounds like a off-brand Keith David. People online are like, it looks like the suit's so good. It looks better than Spider-Man 3. It looks just like Spider-Man 3 without the wiring.
Right.
And Tom Hardy is doing a New York accent, but it also sounds like he has a lisp.
The man loves his accents.
Yeah, he's not doing a good New York
Do you
accent.
think it's fair to say that Tom Hardy peaked in Star Trek Nemesis? No.
I don't know if that's totally fair.
Oh, okay. All right.
You could say he was in Star Trek Nemesis.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
It's not debatable.
But yeah, he looks like it's not just his accent, but some of the lines are just so stupid. He's like, what do you say about this company taking people and then them dying? I think that was verbatim.
Wow.
Right there.
That sounds really good.
So anyways, he does say we are Venom.
Oh.
But he doesn't say it like in any of the video games where it's like, we are Venom. So
I remember my friend when I was a kid had a toy and you press the button, it would talk. Do you know what I'm going to say?
yeah.
Okay.
No,
and it would say, I'm going to eat your brain.
There you go.
And
yeah.
it was like recalled.
Yeah. Because that's what he used to do that.
Yeah,
he used to like threaten to eat your brain.
Yeah, trying to eat people's brains.
used to
But
tell
when you put that in a
Spider-Man.
child's toy,
Yeah.
it just didn't quite. Another shout out to my friend Brandon Earls.
Oh,
That was
there you
his
go.
toy.
Yeah. So it just looks weird, man. I'm less excited for it since they started putting out trailers.
Yeah.
The first one was bad, but now that I've actually seen it, it's like, oh, okay, so there's no like the whole commercial is him using like tendrils. So it's like, oh, okay, he has the Venom suit, but it's
Right.
like hidden. Sometimes
Hidden.
there's tendrils.
That's cool.
And then there's a shot of him being Venom.
Well, I can say that my excitement level has not changed.
Not changed.
It's
Okay.
zero. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Whatever the scale is,
Yeah.
it's down there.
So
It's not
also, there's apparently this is a big thing on the internet right now. Even
heard of it.
Merriam-Webster got involved in this. I was telling you at lunch, one of the characters in the movie starts calling symbiotes symbiotes, and it's like they call them symbiotes, and I'm like, oh, that's a weird pronunciation. And then she goes on, she's like, they're trying to take control of the symbiotes,
I don't like
and
that.
everybody
I don't like it.
apparently people have searched symbiote on Google enough that Merriam-Webster had to get involved. Like, either way is fine. So they did a tweet.
That's funny.
But yeah. Anyway, it's symbiote. It's symbiote person in the movie. Somebody. What do you say? AR?
AR?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where you go in later and record lines.
Oh, yes. I mean, I know what you mean.
ADR?
Yeah, ADR.
Yeah. Somebody needs to go ADR and like be like symbiote.
Yeah, that'd be
I want her to talk
a totally
in a normal
different
Yeah.
voice.
They say they're trying to control symbiotes.
Yeah.
Oh, I said
You did it
symbiotes.
wrong.
Oh no!
That was your one chance.
Oh,
You got it wrong. You got it
I
wrong.
tried to take Venom to task, and he took me to school.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did.
Yeah, he just ate my brain.
I know.
All right, let's stop talking about Venom because
Let's
we're
do
going to
it.
be talking about him for the rest of the year.
That's
Because that
true.
movie doesn't come out until October, and this is slowly going to morph
We've already
into
talked.
a symbiote podcast.
We've already talked more about Venom than I would have liked.
This is the most somebody's talked about him since like 2007.
Yeah, I mean, Topher Grace probably still pulls it out at parties and
Yeah.
stuff. But, most people I think are pretty done with Venom. Anyway, let's turn our attention now to some advance notices.
Yay.
So, good news, everyone. Your friend Susan Wiggs is coming back with a new book, Between
Dear
You and Me.
Susan Wiggs.
Deep within the peaceful heart of Amish country, a life or death emergency shatters a quiet world to its core. #1 New York Times best-selling author Susan Wiggs delivers a riveting story that challenges our deepest held beliefs. If you're a Susan Wiggs fan, That's coming out in June, and we'll have it here in the collection.
I'm a fan of Susan's, and I'm a fan of wigs.
Yeah.
Is this an author who brings those two great flavors together?
Yeah, and it's a narrow audience, wig fans and Susan fans,
right?
Coming together like this. But yes,
Okay.
I think you'll be pleased. You remember how I said that I just read book 2 of Stone Barrington?
Yeah.
Well, let's fast forward to 44 books later, and that's not including the side books that Stone Barrington appears in.
Right.
So let's call it 60.
Okay.
But Stone Barrington number 46.
He's in The Shining, right?
Yeah, that's right. Will be coming out in June as well. I have very little information on this. The title was just released. It has said untitled. Now it says Turbulence. Stone Barrington is back in action and back in the line of fire in the newest thriller from perennial fan favorite and #1 New York Times bestselling author Stuart Woods.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. And finally, for those of you with a dark taste in your crime fiction, Jonathan Kellerman and Jesse Kellerman are back with their second book in the Clay Edison series. This is called A Measure of Darkness. From the best-selling father-son team who write brilliant page-turning fiction, according to Stephen King.
Right.
Let's pause for a minute to talk about Stephen King, who apparently reads and blurbs every single book that's published.
That's true.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Every book, every TV show, every movie, Stephen King has some comment on.
Yeah.
And usually it's like, this blew my mind.
Yeah.
That's a fast-paced thriller.
Yeah.
Stop what you're doing and read it now.
Listen, I'm not a fan of Stephen King like you are, but I'm a fan of that Stephen King.
You like that guy?
I like that guy.
Well, he's all over the place.
Yeah.
I defy you to pick up any book in this office and not find a
wanna
Stephen King blurb on
I
the
want to
back of
go to the indie bookstore that Stephen King is running, and mainly just sitting at the desk all day,
Just see what he likes.
wearing his sunglasses, like, "Hey, what's up, cat? You looking for a new book? Have I got a treat for you?"
Guess what? This is going to blow your wig off. Susan Wiggs back with her latest. Anyway.
Let me shining a light on this book.
That was so stupid.
Well,
it's been a busy few years for
in the 80s.
Alameda County Coroner's Deputy Clay Edison.
Yeah.
This is the Jonathan and Jesse Kellerman book.
Right.
He solved a decade-old crime and redeemed an innocent man, earning himself a suspension in the process. Things are getting serious with his girlfriend, and his brother is fresh out of prison, bringing with him a great big basket of crazy. I'm liking this so far. Then the call comes in the middle of the night. It's a bad one. A party in West Oakland, an argument with the neighbors, a crowd in the street, 2 guns firing at random, spreading chaos and death. Nobody knows the body count yet. What Clay does know is this. It's going to be a long, long night, longer than he ever could have imagined. Because when the dust settles, there's an extra victim, one who can't be accounted for. A young woman strangled instead of shot, without ID, and a stranger to all.
Oh, jeez.
She is Jane Doe. She is the unknown.
Uh-oh.
Clay's journey to give her a name and bring her justice will lead him into a bizarre, a seductive world where innocence and perversity meet and mingle, where right and wrong begin to blur. And it got kind of gross at the end. I don't think I want to read about him diving into the realms of
Hey,
perversity.
Nick, this book doesn't know karate, but it knows crazy. That's Stephen King.
Thank you, Stephen. Thanks so much.
See you next week, buddy.
Hey, I'm writing a new book with my son. It's a killer. That's it.
Oh,
That's the blurb.
okay.
That's all. It's a one line. Yep. Hold on to your hats, kids.
Yeah.
Stephen King's back with a new blurb. They're publishing a collection of just Stephen King blurbs.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Oh, that'd be nice.
yeah. You have to guess which one.
Yeah.
they
No
go to.
context. No footnotes. No context.
Nothing. And the thing is, it doesn't matter.
A righteous surprise.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Leaves you in sweat. Not in a
couldn't
good way.
put it down. This scared me, and I'm Stephen King.
Yeah. That's how he happens everything.
Yeah, and I'm Stephen King.
This was exciting, and I'm Stephen King.
This even excited me, Stephen King, king of horror. All right, what have you got?
On the New York Times bestsellers list,
Hit me, baby, one more time.
I've got. Weren't we just talking about Britney Spears? Oh, we were talking about the
Britney Spears on SNL with Tracy Morgan.
Yes,
Yep.
that was the skit.
Yep.
Woodrow.
Hey, you know what? I did watch The Last OG last
Okay.
night, Tracy Morgan's new show.
Uh-huh.
Pretty good. I liked
Nice.
it. I'd like to watch more.
And with Tiffany Haddish, who
Yeah.
shows up on this podcast a lot whenever
she
we
does.
talk about her book,
Yep.
which my wife has started listening to the audiobook.
Yes, I've heard.
You've heard the book?
No, I've heard that she's done that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Context.
Yeah.
New York Times bestsellers list. This is young adult fiction. We've
Okay.
got some new faces, some fresh faces.
Oh, good.
Some fresh princes. I think they're from Bel Air.
The Fresh. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I tried to send. I did a tweet today.
Yeah.
And I was complaining about how something looked 90s. I was complaining about how the Venom movie looks like it's from the 90s.
Yeah.
And my thought instantly went to, I need a GIF of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's most people's like go to for when they're like, we need to point out something is from the 90s?
Yeah.
The Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Seems like the best like avatar of the 90s.
Sure. Yeah.
Will Smith still rapping.
Still being funny.
Yeah.
Still doing things people want to watch.
Number 10, Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Coy. After a chance... What?
Oh, I don't know.
Huh.
Go on.
After a chance encounter, Penny and Sam develop a relationship over text messages. Can you believe it?
Wait, what?
Welcome to 2007.
Yeah, seriously.
I almost said 2018. I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no joke in
I
just
remember very clearly the first time I got a text message. I
Yeah.
was like, what's happening?
Yeah, it changed your life.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was at the parking lot in Meyer. It was my friend Rachel.
Oh.
Shout out to Rachel.
Which...
We worked at a library together. Willard Library in Battle
Oh,
Creek.
okay, so this isn't the Rachel I know.
No, not the Rachel
Who's your
you
friend
know.
and probably
No.
also texted you
Yeah.
and worked at a library
Yeah,
together.
that's true. You're right. A lot of
So-
confusion there.
Yeah, number 9, I have lost my way.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Yeah, no, let me just read this list
Oh,
though,
cool,
and I'll
cool,
figure
cool.
it out.
All
All right,
right,
number
yep.
9, I have lost my way.
Oh, hey, buddy.
By Gail Foreman.
Oh.
An accident brings 3 strangers together and their secrets unravel.
Ooh.
So, turns out each and every one of them knows what
Scary
the
time.
other one did last summer.
Yeah.
So,
That's...
number 8, for
How do I
every...
know the name? Oh, she wrote If I Stay.
Yeah, how
I'm
did
back. I'm back now.
Number 8, For Everyone by Jason Reynolds. An inspirational poem originally written as a letter to the author himself.
Confusing.
That was really confusing.
Yep.
Number 7, The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. Number 6, Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. More like Turtles All the Way into his bank account.
Yeah.
It's been here for
True.
27 weeks.
Kate liked that book,
Kate, our children's
if
librarian.
you'll recall.
Yeah.
She gray. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Number
You didn't
5.
like it either, did you?
No.
Yeah.
It's...
Been done.
yeah.
Been done and been done better.
Yeah.
By him.
Garden State.
Yeah. Right.
So, number 5, One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. It says lying, but I thought I'd put that little emphasis there.
Oh, I liked it.
Number 4, Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds.
Oh, hey.
He's a twofer
Ooh,
this
wow.
week.
Double dipping.
Number 3, Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adami. Nope. Adiami.
Okay.
Zeely fights to restore magic to the land of Orisha.
Sure.
Yeah. Number 2, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas by 59... No, by Angie Thomas. Been here for 59 weeks.
Has it resurged to number 1? I was thinking it
No,
had dropped.
that was number 2, man.
Oh, number 2.
Here's
Okay.
number
All
1.
right, cool.
The Fates Divide
Oh.
by Veronica Roth.
Oh, is this part of the...
Kyra and Akos fight
Oh.
Lasmet, the tyrant who is thought to be dead.
It's exhausting.
Lasmet has returned.
It's exhausting.
Lasmet, no!
I've returned, Akos and...
Kyra. You always
Kyra.
forget it's Kyra.
Yes, I do, but I have returned, and my name is Lasmat.
Lasmat, yes.
I've come to fight you in space.
Tyrant. This planet, sure.
Oh, yes,
We
and
might be in space.
your special
Current gifts.
gifts.
Here's my
Yes, I
current
shall
gift.
fight them.
I,
I love space, but I hate you, Kira,
no, Kira.
Kara, and Acorn.
Acorn.
Acon.
No.
I shall win this very day.
Oh, no. Lasmat.
And that was a sample of the audiobook from Veronica Roth's latest.
Yeah.
This is part of the, not Divergent, the,
New series.
what is it? What's it called?
The first one?
Yeah.
The Hate You Give.
No.
Did you just sniff like you were trying to smell the name of the book out of the
Oh, I'm
air?
just trying to figure out what it was.
Yeah, it's the Current Gifts book series. Current Gifts.
I know, but I can't think of what it's
No,
called.
the first book. Everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, do they?
It was a big thing. The Divide. Something divided. Fates Divided. That's the name of the book we were just talking about.
This is not good for her.
Just
Carve the Mark.
Carve the Mark.
That's
yes.
what it is.
Yes.
It's the Carve the Mark. Oh, duology.
Oh, yeah.
I bet that wasn't meant to be a duology.
Yeah, somebody
I
had just
bet
hedged
that
their
wasn't
bets.
meant that. Ooh.
Number 10, Red Alert. Oh, hey, we're talking about the new books on the
Okay.
adult hardcover fiction.
Yeah,
Or
all
the
right.
top 10.
Okay.
Number 10, Red Alert by James Patterson and Marshall Karp.
'Tis I, Lasmat, fighting against the Red Squad and NYPD Red.
We followed you.
I shall
Akos
return.
and
Oh
I.
no,
Kyra.
Akos and Kyra.
We're-
I must fight
we've
the
joined the
creations of
NYPD.
James Patterson.
You'll never find him.
New York.
Okay. Number 9, Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate.
Okay.
This has been here for a while.
Yeah,
when are you
sure
going to
has.
read it?
Never a Clock. Speaking of 90s.
Yeah.
That wasn't a thing?
Never a Clock?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're really smart. Not.
Rude much?
Jeez. No, hey, I apologize. Psych.
Okay. Number 7, The Sixth Day by Catherine Coulter and J.T. Ellison.
Spoiler alert, Bruce Willis is a ghost.
That's The Sixth Sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just spoiled The Sixth Sense for all our children listeners.
Actually, you did. I never said the title.
Oh, they could have thought it was Die Hard.
They could have.
All right, so this is the 5th book in the...
Wait a minute. Bruce Willis is a ghost in Die Hard?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. He's damned to film Die Hard movies till eternity.
Yeah, seriously.
The 5th book in the A. Bright... What?
Sold.
The A. Brit in the FBI series?
Oh, a Brit in the FBI, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man,
you know what I love about that series style? They don't even try. They're just like, it's the FBI, but he's like a Brit. He's like an upper crusty Brit in the FBI.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure, I'll buy that.
After the German vice chancellor dies...
Oh, what's this? Hello.
Special agents investigate one
This
of
is how we do
Dracula's...
it in MI6. J. Edgar Hoover.
Did you hear the twist?
No, sorry.
After the German vice chancellor dies, special agents investigate one of Dracula's descendants.
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard. 'Tis I, Lasmat, descendant of Dracula.
I can't do a British accent. So
Yeah,
I can't.
good
then
for
come
you
in
for
as
not
like,
trying.
Oi there!
Yeah, that's
what I
fine.
got.
Yeah. What else we
We're
got?
gonna stop you if I ain't a Briton.
I shall fight you to the very end. You have no current gift.
But we've also joined the FBI now.
Oh, curses.
Akos and
Foiled
I.
once more.
Ira.
Whatever, Acorn.
We're current gifts in the FBI. New series.
Acorn and Carl have returned.
Number 6, The Female Persuasion by Meg Wolitzer.
That's what I'm reading. That's what I'm reading right now.
Yeah.
Good stuff so far.
Nice. Number 5, Shoot First by Stuart Woods.
I don't think it's a great idea.
Well, it's okay. If you shoot first, you're able to ask questions right after.
Yeah, but I would just say...
No, watch. Blam! Hey, should I have shot you?
It's too late. It's too late to ask that question. That's what I'm saying. You got to do that first. You ask the questions first.
Right. Okay. All right.
Whatever.
Hey,
Whatever.
should I? Oh, boom! Oh, before I could finish.
Is this Stone Barrington?
Yeah. The Stone Barrington searches for the person who plotted to kill the woman behind a cutting-edge software startup.
Wowzer.
This is book 230.
Yeah. You're not kidding.
Number 4.
That other one is set to come out June 5th, and this is currently on. That's
man.
hardly any time at
Stuart
all.
Woods has a current gift where he can just put out Stone Barrington books.
Oh, well, good for him.
Number 4, The Thief by J.R. Ward. This is the 16th book. I don't have to tell you. You know this is the 16th.
Yeah, sure.
You've been counting the days.
Yeah, I have.
16th book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series.
Yep.
Sola Morte falls for a man who sells weapons to a group of vampire warriors.
Don't tell me too much. I was so anxious to get this book. I set up a tent outside of the Borders for 2 nights, only to realize Borders closed about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Nick, that Borders has been closed for 30 years.
yeah, I know. Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Number 3, I've Got My Eyes on You by Mary Higgins Clark. Not a murderer.
Nope.
Then you know what?
That we know of.
I think that's our official stance.
Mary Higgins Clark. All the books is coming out that Mary Higgins Clark is
Not a murderer.
a murderer.
Number 2, After Anna by Lisa Scottoline. A woman marries a widower and reunites with her teenage daughter, who is murdered soon after, and the husband is put on trial for it.
Yowzer.
Yeah. Number 1, Circe by Madeline Miller. Zeus banishes Helios' daughter to an island where she must choose between living with gods or mortals.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm saying wow because first, it's crazy that that's number 1. And second, what is this book?
It's called Circe
No,
by
I know. but
Madeline Miller.
Have you ever heard of this book?
Yeah, it's about
No, I know.
Helios' daughter is banished by Zeus to an island, and she has to choose between living with gods or mortals.
But seriously, have you ever heard of this book?
No, this is crazy. This just came out of nowhere, and people wanted it. Yeah,
This is so bizarre.
Maybe
I'm
it's-
looking at it right now. It makes no sense to
maybe
me.
it's fans of the DC character Circe.
Oh, yes.
What would you
Sure.
choose? Would you choose to live with the gods or mortals? Look, if there's a Greek gods, no thank you.
What an odd thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Madeline Miller writes other things. She has her Song of Achilles series, I guess.
Well, there you go. That's what this is.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true.
Bizarre.
Again,
Okay.
who are you picking?
Whatever.
Who are you picking?
Oh, sorry. Give me my choices.
You live with mortals or gods? But I think they're the Greek gods.
Is Lasmat a mortal or a god?
He's working on his way to becoming a god, so it could go either way.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Mortal. I got to go mortal. I
All
like a
right.
good struggle. I got to work against something, Like your bad attitude.
Mine?
No, just
Son
kidding. It's
of
my
a
current gift.
gun. Son of a gun. All right.
Is that it?
Yeah, I believe that is it.
Okay. Good times. Well, as we...
Not only do I believe it, I know it.
Okay. As we're winding down National Poetry Month, we've had displays throughout the library. We had Heather Hallberg Yonda come and do a reading a little bit earlier.
That's true.
The displays are still up, so you can come check them out and find some things. We have a lot of the collections from authors who have visited the library the past couple of years. We have all their work sort of gathered. The poets who have come in the past. My favorite, probably Danica Kelly, who's come so
That's
far.
true.
Though I really love James
Shouldn't play
Zoller's.
favorites.
I know James Zoller's collection, Simple Clutter. I really liked, which we do have in the collection.
I've read on the floodplains or the floodplains.
Oh, okay.
Don't go to the floodplains; they're flooded.
But you weren't a fan.
Look,
Of the two, Living on the Floodplain wasn't nearly as good as Simple Clutter, if you ask me. And I think that you should.
okay.
Do you have? I mean, I know poetry's not your jam. You don't have any that you'd like or any go-tos.
There was
that you
something
might?
I liked. You
Okay.
mean like, do I read poetry?
No. I just mean, is there one that stands out in your mind? Maybe.
There was one collection that I liked because it was unpretentious.
Oh,
Or maybe it was pretentious and I was feeling pretentious at the
implicit
moment.
judgment.
I can't remember what it was called. Did I put that in nonfiction?
All right. Well, sorry to put you on the spot.
Thanks, man.
Um,
I think I put it in favorites of all places. I'll tell
I
you in a
really like
second.
Joyce Carol Oates' collection, Women Whose Lives Are Food, Men Whose Lives Are Money. I thought that was good. In Naomi Shihab Nye's collection, Hugging the Jukebox, there were several, including the title poem, that I did really like. Probably the best collection that I've read in the last couple of years would be When Green Becomes Tomatoes, Poems for All Season, by Julie Fogliano. This was one that I believe in 2016 was up for the Goodreads Choice Award for Children's Book. So this is put together like a picture book, you know. But the poems in it I thought were really good, and like my son liked them, I liked them. I thought it was just kind of a hit all around. I don't think it ended up winning, but it definitely got a lot of attention, and I was impressed with that. With that collection.
The book I read was God's Silence by Franz Wright.
Okay,
it was good.
Have you read any like I don't even know how to like epic, like a Beowulf or something like that? That's in that verse format.
I've read some Shakespeare.
Okay. I did enjoy Tolkien's The Fall of Arthur, which came out a couple years back.
All right.
I thought that was pretty good. But anyway, the focus that we're going to do today is we're gonna talk about some collections that are supposedly, for those of you who are not that interested in poetry, these are good starts. So I'm going to be pulling some from the Huffington Post, a blog post that was originally compiled by Victoria Chang. You can find this at huffingtonpost.com. And here are a couple that the author of this article, Victoria Chang, has pulled out as things that you might suggest to people who aren't that interested. So the first, Billy Collins. Are you familiar with Billy Collins? He was the poet laureate.
Is that what
for a
I
while.
know his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just, I think Rain in Portugal was his last collection that just came out. I read that,
God bless
and
the rains
none
in
of those really like hit me as they do sometimes, but it was fine.
But did you read Sailing Alone Around the Room?
I didn't, but that is the one that's suggested here by the author. And she says that Collins is the king of approachable and accessible poetry. And from what I've read of his, I would agree. I didn't particularly like it, but it was very easy to identify with and relate to. None of them just like knocked me out of the park. So it's suggested here, Sailing Alone Around the Room. And the author here suggests he's probably the best poet to start with for people who think they don't like poetry.
Right.
And I can tell you that when he reads... when he holds like lectures and things, you can find a lot of these on YouTube. His delivery of them really sells them. You know, he's such a good orator that he makes them interesting, even if poetry's not your jam. So thanks for just rocking and staring at me
Sorry,
for
man. I'm just
the last 25
I'm just
minutes.
trying to think of. I'm just trying to think of poetry and anything to say that doesn't sound snotty.
All right.
So I'm working on the if you don't have anything nice to say. So
Really aggressive.
I
Really
know.
aggressive. You kind of act like poetry, like you were talking to a girl that you really liked, and poetry came up and like rode its bike through a mud puddle that splashed on your crotch, and we're like, Eric peed his pants.
Yeah.
And then like she walked away, and you were like, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
That's what it seems your relationship
Poetry
with poetry
though would have
is.
been like tires burning, water splashing, boy ashamed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think you just wrote a haiku. So maybe it's that you won't give yourself over to poetry.
Okay.
Maybe you got a lot bottled up inside of you.
Okay.
That the poetry would just fly.
Don't knock on the door. It will open. Don't go inside. It will close.
Let me tell you, every time you do this, it's so good. I'm not even kidding.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yes, it does mean stuff. It absolutely does. That in particular.
All right.
I don't know. I feel like maybe you're some sort of poetry savant, and I maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
But I feel like there's something there.
This is our Goodwill Hunting.
Okay.
I'm Matt Damon.
Could be.
I'm just writing poetry on a chalkboard while I'm taking out the trash, and you're like, you have a gift.
Yeah.
You could be somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care about poetry. I just want to clean.
Next on the list here, Delights and Shadows by Ted Kooser. Kooser's a poet of the simplest, most accessible language and is well-loved by
familiar.
many. His book, like all his work, draws inspiration from everyday life and the details, objects, and images most overlook. Simple Clutter by Jim Zoller that I was talking about earlier, which we have in our collection.
Right.
That's what that's about. It's like simple, even like household items, like pulling meaning out of that and relating things to those simple items. That's why it worked so well for me, and it sounds like this is along those lines. Gold Cell by Sharon Olds. She says, no American poet can write about personal sexuality, the body, and family in such universal, unabashed, and riveting ways.
Watch me.
You want to take one?
Write a sexually...
No. No way.
Okay.
No, I meant read the next one.
The Rose by Lee Young Lee. Or I might be saying that wrong.
I think you're fine.
Well, it's L-I and then L-E-E later, so they can't both be Lee.
Sure they can.
Oh. Lee is a poet who values plain language, isn't afraid to veer towards sentimentality when addressing universal themes like love and family. This is Lee's first book, and his later works are more sophisticated, but I still love this book most for its naivety and simplicity. This is the author of the Huffington Post, not myself. That wasn't my opinion.
Victoria Chang.
Yeah, Victoria Chang's
Now, many of these, if we don't have this particular collection in the... this particular collection in our library collection, we have most of these authors, and we can certainly get them from any other library. So if any of these are striking your interest, we'll hook you up.
All right.
The Collected Poems of Lucille Clifton. Clifton's physically small, lowercase poems were often written at the kitchen table while managing her 6 children.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Elegy Ode by Bob Hickok. Hickok's poetry is always accessible, whimsical, and surprising. He connects unexpected things into fluid poems about death. Ooh. Dark.
The Half-Finished Heaven by Thomas Transtromer. You use a transtrometer to judge how long a poem is.
I see.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
Transtromer is a Swedish poet who won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2011. I remember 2011.
Yeah, it was a good year.
His poems are mystical ruminations on the human condition, and his arresting images leave the reader holding breath, usually at the end of the poems.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you think that's because they're so long, but you have to read them in one breath?
It could be.
Yeah.
I want to get to, we got a lot of listener responses on this, so I want to get to that as well. So
Cosmos Trilogy.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. By Frederick Seidel. Seidel is a New York poet, if you believe it.
Interesting.
Who dazzles readers with his life in the fast and wealthy lane.
Right. Louise Gluck. The Wild Irish is the one selected here. Louise Gluck is one that always comes up in these lists. She's kind of universally beloved, I think.
Gluck
so
or bust.
Yeah. The author here says Gluck's voice is always dark and stark, but startling as she addresses themes related to death, God, and life. So we'll post all of these to our Twitter page, which you can find at All the Book Show on Twitter. Also, you can follow us at David A. Howe Public Library on Facebook, but usually the show-related stuff we stick to Twitter, so you can find it there.
I like books that feel
Is this
like
a poem?
Poetry.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I like Station 11, and I like...
Yeah.
There was another one I was going to pick. The Canticle for Leibowitz, because they feel like they're poetic.
Yeah.
Even though they're, just prose.
Well, going back to our Conversation with Naomi Shihab Nye. That's how I feel about her books. Like her The Turtle of Oman, and Kate agreed to the same thing with Habibi, that they feel very fluid and very poetic. So yeah, that's definitely a style. Let's take a peek at some of the listener responses. So take it away.
Okay. I've totally opened up my Facebook page.
All right. Facebook user Andrew suggests William Wordsworth. And you can find poets.org has so many. I mean, you can just type in a name and it'll bring up a list of the poems. You can just click on them, find them right there. So if you're a fan, you can look there. Our own Jason Marsden suggests Advice to My Son by Peter Meinke. And again, on our David A. Howe Library Facebook page, we've linked to all of these poems. So you can take a look there as well. Tony Hoagland was suggested by a Facebook user. Facebook user Sherry posts a YouTube video of a Billy Collins poem, Litany, which is recited by a 3-year-old. So she thinks that obviously makes it more entertaining.
Right.
So you can find the link to that there as well. T.S. Eliot, a name that came up quite a bit. Let me find some specific poems. We're getting a lot of...
T.S. Eliot is poetry for those who like poetry.
I see. So not Eric. Okay.
I haven't read any T.S. Eliot.
I'll list some of the... No, I don't think so. I guess, didn't he write the book that Cats is based on?
What?
Isn't that how he wants to be known? Let me find a couple. Okay, here's one that I could share with you. Facebook user Mary suggests Robert Frost, and here is the poem she suggests.
Hit us.
Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep.
Well, that's a famous one.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Sylvia Plath got some mentions here. We got another Robert Frost. That's an easy to share one here. Fire and Ice by Robert Frost was suggested by Facebook user, let's see, Valerie. Fire and Ice goes like this. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if I had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. Succinct little poem. Sue mentions John Donne and T.S. Eliot as well. So a lot of variety and a lot of the same on here. Yeah. Best of both worlds. We have a pretty expansive poetry collection here at the David A. Howe Public Library.
In the 800s.
Yes, that's right. The main floor, we have, of course, the newer stuff. But downstairs, we have about 2 rows that's just poetry collection. Of, famous poets that anyone can name drop.
I guess I like the crossover.
Yeah.
That was poetry.
Yeah.
But that was, that was good. But it was telling a story, and you could definitely, break it down and just make it prose if you wanted to. But anyway, go on.
No, just saying that if you want to discover someone new, I would suggest diving down into the stacks, because we do have about 2 full rows, as I said, of poets that range from the most famous to, one collection.
I've seen the 2015 Macbeth film with Michael Fassbender, and anyway, like that. All they did was talk in verse.
All right,
it was Shakespeare talk.
All right, lots of that's all right.
I'm trying to relate to you.
We have a strong poetry collection here, is the bottom line there. We hope you'll come in and check it out. The display will be up for another week or so you can browse some of the work of poets who visit the library in the last couple of years. We're winding up April. What else you got going on this month for library news?
Teen Photography Show is up.
Yes, it is
live.
It is an impressive batch of photos this year.
We have more than 110 photos.
Is that a record?
I think so.
Wow.
I can't remember what we were at last year. I think we were at 108.
Yeah.
So it's by 3, but that's enough. You can win running by milliseconds. You can win photos by photos.
Thanks for putting that in terms I can
understand.
So
that's up for 2 weeks as of now, and the reception is May 1st. Patrons and the community members can just come in and vote for their favorite, and they'll get the winner gets the People's Choice Award. And then there's also other awards.
I get to choose a winner.
Yep, that's true. The Director's Award.
Yep.
So.
And then Brian Oglesby,
Nick
did you
has
mention?
a very particular taste.
Yeah, if there's no cowboy boots,
Yeah.
forget it.
Yeah. He prefers the cowboy boots alone.
Yeah, if it's just cowboy boots like by a stream,
Yeah.
you're locked in.
Yeah. That's true. You're
No
definitely
arguments.
running up. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
You want to write a poem about cowboy boots by a stream?
You want me to do that for you?
Yeah, if you would.
All right. Right now?
Yeah, please.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I can't on demand.
Oh,
I can't write
I
poetry.
think you can.
But
All right. All right. Had your chance, muffed
all
it.
right.
All right. What else do I have? Boy, we have Sunny and Pearly coming up this week with their April in Paris show. That's going to be April 26th at 7 o'clock. And then next month, we have a new group called Arco Iris coming. They do Latin and Brazilian music. They're new to the auditorium stage, never been here before. That's May 17th. And then, as mentioned many times, Alex Berenson will be here on June 2nd at 2 o'clock. You can get your book signed, listen to a talk from the author. We're looking forward to that. Book clubs are currently reading The Midnight House by Alex Berenson and The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls.
Nice. The Glass
that's
Castle, we actually just added the movie to our collection.
Oh, nice.
And just as you guys are doing the book club.
Funny.
This was a patron's pick, right? The
It
Glass
was.
Castle?
Yep. We just, people can just toss in any book that they're interested in reading. We just draw them out randomly, and whatever it is, as long as there are copies available, we do it. This is actually our first nonfiction in the history of the book club since I've been doing them. They've just been strictly fiction. So this is a new genre for the old book club. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's it for this week.
Nice.
Any final thoughts? Any cowboy boot related poetry? No, it's fine.
Cowboy
We'll tip it in.
boots and crust and mud, blood and rust and mistrust?
Yes. I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
I panicked.
I actually think that's a Tammy Wynette song, but that's
Darn
fine.
it!
That's fine. All right, folks. We'll see you next week, episode 141.